Happy game week, Bengals fans. It is time with the 2025 season looming to give my final prediction, game by game. How will the Bengals do this season? It's time to break it all down right now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into CBT. I'm James Rapien of BengalsTalk.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, check us out, because we got almost 59,000 subscribers. We are close. We are closing in on that number. And whether it's there, whether it's on audio where you can catch us, Spotify, Apple, make sure that you follow wherever you get your podcasts. Today's video, well, it's brought to you by our two local sponsors, Christian Husky of Sipsy Klein. Check them out, sipsyklein.com/chusky, and also Win-Win Athletics. They have the best flag football gear on the planet, including over my right shoulder. You see that? That is, if you're watching on YouTube, the perfect flag football gear, the most complete flag football kit that you can get. You got to check them out today, winwinathletics.com. Let's dive in game by game. Here we go. The Bengals, they play the Browns on Sunday, September 7th. They kick off the season, and I've said it for weeks. It's not going to be a shocker to you that I'm saying this. If you watch or you listen regularly, you better win this game. You better win this game. You have to win this game. And expectations are simple. Win the game. This Bengals team, they've talked about starting fast since when? I'm trying to think of the exact date in January that Lou Anarumo got fired. But Zach Taylor sat in his office. He was on a Zoom call with media because the storms were crazy. And I drove down in the Cincinnati Bengals Talkmobile, and we talked about that, went through 8 inches of snow or whatever it was. We get there, and Zach Taylor says, we better start faster this season. Well, this season is now, and it starts in Cleveland. And so I have the Bengals winning that game. I have the Bengals handling business week 2 as well against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And yes, I actually think Jacksonville's kind of sneaky good, and maybe not. Maybe it doesn't work out. Maybe Trevor Lawrence really is just super talented and isn't going to be a good player. I disagree with that. I think it's going to work. We'll see. So that is a win as well. And this is where it starts to change, because I had them starting 2-0 and then going 2-1 in May when we played the schedule game after the schedule came out. I actually have them starting 3-0 this year. And this would be obviously a major first, the first time of the Zach Taylor era. I can think of the excitement around my favorite Bengals team of all time, the 2005 Bengals, when they started 3-0 and how exciting it was. And I have this Bengals team doing the same thing. They start 3-0, they go to Minnesota, they win, and you're looking up and you're like, man, how good can this team be? Well, then they're going to go to Denver the following week and lose. And then I have them losing again the following week at home to the Detroit Lions. So now suddenly they're 3-2. And back in May, I had those games flipped. I had them losing to Minnesota and beating Denver and losing to Detroit. I have them starting 3-2 again, just in a different order. But this is when they really get hot, because you start 3-1 in September and then 0-1 in October, and then you finish really strong ahead of the Week 10 bye. I have them going to Green Bay and handling business. Yes, with Micah Parsons. Yes, with Jordan Love. Yes, with all those things. Really good team in Green Bay, and it's going to be tough to go to Lambeau and win. I think they get it done. I think Joe Burrow shines bright at Lambeau. They come home, short week for Pittsburgh, and handle business there. And then they have the Jets and Bears. Those are going to be interesting games. I think they win those games. And suddenly you look up in the Bengals, they go from 3-2, they win 4 straight. They're 7-2 going into the bye. Who wouldn't take that? I think you would take it. I think they would take it. We'll see how they finish. My predictions for the rest of the season coming up next. Today's video is brought to you by winwinathletics.com. You have to check them out. If you like flag football, maybe your son or daughter plays flag football. Maybe you do. I've played flag football as an adult, and no, you couldn't cover me. And especially when I'm wearing these Win-Win Athletics flags, you got to check out their flag football kit. Do yourself a favor and do it. You've heard us talk about it. The season is here. I promise you, the weather, it's changing. It's perfect to be out there. Check them out today at winwinathletics.com. I always talk about Christian Husky and how big of a Bengals fan he is. And if you're looking to buy, if you're looking to sell your home in the Cincinnati area, maybe it's as simple as you're interested in market trends and you're interested in at least discussing the possibility of moving. Well, Christian Husky's got you covered. Check him out at sipsyklein.com/chusky. Again, that's sipsyklein.com/chusky. See Husky. All right, Bengals fans, let's continue the conversation after the bye. Well, they play the Steelers week 11. A month after beating them, they lose to Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's pretty solid. That defense is really good. Their defensive line's really deep. And so they split with the Steelers, but then they bounce back in a big way by handling business against the Patriots. And then this is arguably the Thanksgiving game. This is arguably the game maybe of the year. It could certainly decide the division in my mind. You go to Baltimore, short week. The Bengals have had to do that multiple years in a row. Prime time under the lights in Baltimore. They're going to get it done this year. They're going to go to Baltimore and win. I haven't wavered in that. I think that happens this year. And they're going to get really up for that game, handle business. And then they're going to have to get up again for Buffalo. Buffalo's going to be up for that game. And I think the Bills handle business in week 14 against the Bengals. So coming out of the bye after starting 7-2, the Bengals go 2-2 over the next 4 games, and they're 9-4 going into a final stretch that includes the Ravens, Dolphins, Cardinals, and Browns. Well, this is probably my hottest take when it comes to the Bengals prediction, or my prediction for the Bengals this season. I have them sweeping the Ravens. Not only do they go there on Thanksgiving and handle business, but then they come back home, and after going 2-2 after the bye, they handle business again. They beat the Ravens 2 times in 3 weeks, and then they go down to Miami and handle business again. And they beat the Dolphins to really set themselves up at 11-4 for potentially 1 seed contention. I mean, if you're 11-4 going into games against the Cardinals and Browns, you feel pretty good. I have them splitting those games, losing to the Cardinals, beating the Browns. There's always a loss that surprises you. I think it's going to be that Cardinals game, and then sweeping the Browns. So they sweep the Browns, they sweep the Ravens, and they split with the Steelers, 5-1 in the division. I have them winning the AFC North. All bets are off after that, but at 12-5, this Bengals team is going to be right in the thick of things, and they dethrone the Ravens in the North. That is my prediction for this season. What do you think? Leave it in the comments on YouTube. But to me, I think this team, this offense, the way they're going to play at the jump is going to be able to carry them against teams like the Browns, Jags, and even the Minnesota Vikings on the road. And that's a really tough place to play. And then after that, they're going to have some ups and downs. 2 losses in a row to the Broncos and Lions. And then they win 4 straight. And then they lose 2 out of 4. And then they win 2. And then they lose 1. And then they win 1. And then they go into the playoffs. I don't think they're going to get a bye. Maybe they do. Maybe they earn that bye. But I do think that they're going to earn 1 or maybe multiple home playoff games at Paycor Stadium, which, let's be honest, Paycor Stadium needs a couple playoff games. It's been a while. It's been a few years. That needs to change. And part of why I am so bullish on this team, and it's the biggest part, Joe Burrow is better today than he was last year. Like, everyone talks about, oh, well, the offense is good, but the defense, or Joe Burrow's great, but the offensive line, or Joe Burrow's better now. Like, he is better. He's had the best training camp of his career. He's someone that was already playing at such a high level, and you're like, all right, well, is there another level? Well, yes, I've seen it. As someone that's watched, essentially, there's a couple practices in there where I haven't watched every single practice of training camp of Joe Burrow's career, but it's really, really close to all of them, like 98% of them. This was his best camp by far, his most consistent camp by far. The floor of his play has raised to an elite level where his good days were great days a few years ago. And so when the bar is that high, the sky is the limit. The Bengals finish 12-5. They win the North. Leave your prediction as well. Make sure that you follow wherever you get your podcast. Hit that subscribe button. And until next time, just a quick reminder, by the way. I was about to get out of here, but just a quick reminder. The season is here, which means End of the Jungle every Tuesday, which means coverage from the locker room, coverage that you're not going to get anywhere else with Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell on YouTube so you get notified whenever we drop a video. And then also follow us wherever you get your podcast. And stay tuned. Plenty of fun announcements coming your way. The season is here. Let's go. For Andrew Fox-Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Cincinnati Bengals Talk.